Welcome to our discussion on the U.S. China trade war and its impact on American manufacturing. I'm Ryan Chan, CEO and founder of UpKeep. Today we'll explore the ripple effects of this economic conflict, examining potential cost increases, alterations in sourcing, and the adaptability required in this shifting landscape. Whether you're part of a maintenance or operations team, this insight can help you navigate these turbulent times. Let's get started. Let's dive into the effects of the U.S. China trade war on manufacturing in the U.S. It's likely that costs are going to rise for those who continue sourcing materials from China. However, for manufacturers who are savvy and agile enough to switch to other sources, the impact will probably be minimal. You might be wondering if there's been an increase in stateside business due to the tariffs. The aim was certainly to move more manufacturing to the U.S., but the reality is a bit different. In fact, only about 6% of businesses moving their production out of China are bringing it to the U.S. So it's unlikely that American factories will see large influxes in business. Instead, countries like Mexico, Vietnam, and Indonesia are likely to benefit as companies shift their operations to these areas. Now let's talk about the possible increase in costs. For manufacturers already operating in the U.S., there's a chance that operational costs may rise due to higher tariffs. This is mainly the case for those who use parts imported from Chinese factories. For example, the cost of replacement parts and supplies that use components from China may increase, making it more expensive to maintain maintenance, repair, and operations inventories. But if they start sourcing those supplies from companies using other offshore producers, that increase may not happen. Depending on the prices from those countries, the result could be constant or even reduced costs overall. The key here is adaptability. The impact of the trade war largely depends on how adaptable U.S. manufacturers prove to be. If you're keeping a close eye on the market and sourcing materials from the most cost-effective places, you'll likely see little impact from the ongoing trade war. Your materials are less likely to be stamped with "Made in China" and more likely to come from other countries. However, manufacturers that continue to source their materials from China will see an increase in operating and production costs. They'll likely have to pass on at least some of those costs to their customers. It's important to note that facilities operating in the U.S. aren't likely to see a huge influx of business as other companies pull out of China. This means that things will remain more or less constant for those who aren't actively importing materials from overseas. So in the end, the effects of the U.S. China trade war on manufacturing in the U.S. largely depend on the adaptability and sourcing strategies of individual manufacturers. Thank you for joining us in this discussion. We've explored the effects of the U.S. China trade war, the potential for cost increases, and the importance of adaptability in sourcing strategies. If you found this content valuable, please subscribe to our channel for more insights. For additional resources, visit our website at upkeep.com. Remember, staying informed is key in navigating these complex economic landscapes.